tardigrade is a microscopic extremophile that goes into a 10 state. It also goes through a process called cryptobiosis. When a tardigrade undergoes an extreme temperature, either frozen or boiling, it grows into a ball and it goes into something called a 10 state. This process is called cryptobiosis. In this state, they are virtually indestructible. An extremophile is a species that can withstand and undergo intense temperatures. A tardigrade's resilience can go from 35 degrees Fahrenheit to negative 45 degrees Fahrenheit. As soon as the tardigrade senses a change in temperature, it immediately goes into the 10 state. This protects them from any harm. This is useful because we can use a similar tactic when transporting vaccines. A vaccine is a dead or extremely weak virus. It is injected into you. Then your body has given a weaker version of the virus, so it has a chance to fight it off. So if the real one rolls around, it has a chance to fight. If a vaccine is made in one country, but then needed in another, it can travel around the world to get where it needs to go. A vaccine is then frozen, coated, and then put in a special cooler to be shipped off. You see, the issue with this process is that there are too many incoherent variables. For one, there is a great risk that the boat could sink. Or the rocking from side to side could break the vaccine. Or it could even damage it. If the temperature were to change ever so slightly, it could completely and utterly change the vaccine, and it could mutate, and if injected, the side effects would be way worse. Animal cell is a small yet complex system. Every intricate organelle does its own individual job. For instance, the cell membrane. It attempts to keep viruses and bad bacteria out of the cell. It is also the barrier that holds the cell together. But sometimes that defense is not enough. The virus could potentially break into the cell and get to its end goal, the nucleus. Once the virus gets to the nucleus, it will attach its own DNA to the others and reproduce until it has taken over the entire cell and then starts to multiply and destroy other cells, and then that gets escalating, and then you're really sick. But luckily, the white blood cells will soon arrive and destroy the virus. Tardigrades just might be the solution with issues with vaccine travel. Remember that cryptobiosis I spoke about earlier? Well, that process just might be what saves vaccines. You see, in placement of frozen packaging peanuts, we would use frozen tardigrades instead. They can adapt to most any climate or temperature. The frozen tongue state would be a very good solution. They would prove to be a comfortable cushion and protect them from an obvious change in temperature. Using a private plane would be the best way to travel. No. Whereas if you were to use a boat, it has a high risk of it being sunk, and the waves could get intense and there could be a storm and it would damage the vaccines. A smooth plane ride is better than a bumpy boat ride.